It is very unusual for me to make a video associated with one of my small exercises, but I thought with so many people these days being very, very visual learners, this might be a good time to do a video, and it won't be a very long one, I promise. I want you to go to a website that is called w3schools.com. It is a very renowned website that keeps up to date with the language. I know a lot of you may be thinking in this course, I just want to use a software package to make web pages, but what will set you apart from other web designers is knowing the language behind the scenes. And I want this CSS concept, cascaded style sheets, to be something that you understand best. And what I want you to do in this small exercise is to go to W3Schools, and when you get to this page, choose something that says CSS, and there's something called CSS tutorial. You can actually click CSS, the big blue logo right there, and it will give you some good tutorials. It will look scary at first, especially if you're not into languages. This may be a little bit scary at first, and I would go in and look at this area that says CSS examples. I'm just scrolling down the screen, and again, look at this if you're highly visual. Rewind the video as necessary, and click on something called Try It Yourself. What happens here is you've got a number of examples of very small code that you can play with and see if you understand stuff. For example, under CSS backgrounds right here at the top, I'm going to choose the one that says set the background color of a page. And when you see set the background color of a page, I'm slurring, I'm sorry, you will see the code on the left hand side, the language itself, and then you will see the CSS web page, and you can play with this. You don't have to worry about very cryptic codes if you don't want to do that. Now, I want to see if I make this a little bit smaller here so I can get to my scroll bar. Alright, for example, and you may or may not be able to see this, I'm going to try to make this larger and hope my video doesn't go wacko on you. Here we go, yeah. Alright, where it says background color, which is a CSS, notice that this is contained inside the style tags. Here's some CSS code right here, and this code, because it's defining the body of the document, this will apply to the entire document. The main page, of course, is right here where I've got, or where they've got, my CSS web page as a header, and then hello world. This is a w3schools.com example. You don't have to necessarily put a cryptic code right there. You could change it very easily and put something as simple as green if you don't want to learn the code or play with it. And then you'll always click the button that says submit code, and it will give you the background. If by chance you had misspelled the word, sometimes I do because I have a crooked finger now, and sometimes I'll mistype some of my stuff, it will be very forgiving. It doesn't say error message, which is why I'm stricter on it than you are, but it simply will not do what it's supposed to do. If you want to change the background color to blue, or if you know the code for it, you can do that. Again, submitting the code. We're in the habit of hitting the enter key, and that's not going to help matters any. You have to submit the code for it to work. If you want to go back, just close this page because the other one is okay. You may want to play with the one that says set the background color of different elements, and you've got some great examples right here again with background colors. And you can just play with these items, and maybe that will help you learn some concepts. Part of a 200 level course, ladies and gentlemen, is being able to use your own resources. There's a need in online for courses for some people to be very, very highly dependent on the instructor as if they were in a classroom face-to-face setting, and that's okay. But at some point, as I told people years ago when I taught high school, the bird has to fly from the nest at some point, and you need to not be afraid of experimenting, or you might be frankly in the wrong kind of vocation. Play with this stuff and just see if it will give you some ideas. I might actually do an exercise with this formally rather than a small exercise. And what I want you to do is just play with a few of these and just do some screen captures, which you already should know how to do, and just send these to me as part of your small exercise. Play with anything here that you want, but the main thing here I hope for you at this level is not one of those get her done and get it out of my way mentalities, but that you're trying to learn the concepts. Because if you're in a 210 course, I'm assuming that you're wanting to get seriously into web design, and Chance will be very happy, or whoever is in charge of web design at this recording, if you have some good background and understanding of what CSS is. I hope this video, and specifically this w3schools.com site, will be helpful to you. Let me know if you have any questions.